Hey guys, what's up? This is Chris, author of Hit It, the ultimate guide to programming drums. And I just wanted to take a few minutes to let you have a look inside the book so that you can see what you actually get if you decide to buy it. So as you can see, I have the book here on my iPad. This is the cover. You've probably seen this on the website. And there's the table of content. Now that's probably pretty interesting to you. We have a few chapters here. The first is the basics, which I'll go over in a second. And then we have the three main chapters, so to speak. The first one is about pop music, rock, right over there, and last but not least, metal. Aside from the three genre-specific chapters, we have chapters on humanizing beats, which is pretty important because many producers suffer from drum tracks that sound very robotic and not very real or natural. So in this chapter, you will learn how to combat this. And last but not least, we have two bonus chapters because you guys requested them. One is about odd time signatures and another one about mixing tips. So let's start right away. These are the basics. So basically, if you've never seen a drum kit, this is what you should definitely look into because here you're going to learn the basics pretty much. All you need to know in order to program your own drum tracks. There's a picture of a drum set explaining all the little elements because we need to know what they are called in order to be able to program them correctly. Here's something about Midi Basics. Midi is the protocol that we will use to program our drum tracks, so it's pretty important that you get at least the most basic concept of it, and this is what I cover here in this section. In the Beat Basics section, I cover how to how basic beats are constructed. And I talk a little bit about note values in general and stuff like that. So these are just some basic parameters still that you need to know in order to be able to program drum tracks. And then there you have it, four to the floor. The most basic beat is covered in this section. Here you have it, 4 bass drum hits, and this one's even a variation with additional snare drum hits on beats 2 and 4. And this is the first genre-specific chapter about pop music. So in pop music, the drums should stay in the background mainly, and that's what we'll do here. So I'll explain how to build a beat, and to benefit the song best, so to speak. So these are different variations of beats you can use, and I describe how and when they are appropriate. And also tom-specific beats or tom-centered beats are covered in this chapter. And a lot of examples, as you can see here. I also cover the side stick, which is pretty important for pop ballads, for example. Halftime feel, again, one thing you'll most likely need in pop ballads. And of course, fills. We need them to transition between different sections of a song, for example. There's the rock chapter. So in rock music, the whole production is more centered around the band concept, so the drums can move in the foreground a little more than in pop music, and we'll account for that here in this chapter. And there's one important concept I explain here. This is what I call lock in your drums with existing music. So this is basically you learn how to program drum tracks that fit a song or a piece of music that's pre-existing before the drum track is written. Perfectly. So whatever you have, whatever kind of music, if you apply this concept, you'll learn how to create a perfect drum track for this piece of music. Ghost notes, another important concept covered here. Again, some specialities about the right cymbal, and advanced fills for rock music are featured here as well. You can see a lot of examples. Triplet fills. Moving on to metal. Here's the locking in I explained earlier in the rock chapter is also present here for metal, but here we will lock in with the palm muting in guitar riffs. It's also described here in this section, so don't worry if you never heard about it. I got you covered. Of course, we couldn't have a chapter about metal without double bass drum beats. Very fun to program in my opinion. I really like those a lot. And as you can see, there are a lot of variations here as well. And always remember, these are just examples. I will describe everything, or everything is described in a way here in this book, so that you can take the concept and apply it to your music. So you are not just stuck with these examples here, but you will know how to create your track from the ground up by applying these principles. So basically there's almost 150 examples in here, but what you will get is the knowledge to create thousands of variations for yourself. Oh, this is my favorite topic, Blastbeats. I like those a lot, really. And I've got all the different kinds. Moving on to fills. In metal, there's different fills than in other genres. They are more complex, you could say. And to account for that, I've written a basic metal fills chapter, and there's also an advanced chapter. There it is. So, yeah, it will take some time before you run out of fill ideas, definitely. And again, you'll learn how to apply the concept for your own music. This is maybe the most important chapter in the book, humanizing beats. Like I said, a lot of programmed drum tracks sound very robotic and not very natural. And in this chapter, I've laid out the two important concepts that it takes to make your drums sound natural or human. The first one is quantization. Getting your drums away from the grid without too much effort, but still creating great examples. So that's what I cover here. And then there's also a section about velocities, because this is another important variable in this game. So you don't want your virtual drummer to hit the same every time, just as hard every hit, but you want little variations in there, little variations in the velocity, and that's what I'll cover here, and how I do it is all laid out here. And of course it varies between different kinds of beats, between fills, between genres and everything, and that's all here. So don't worry, it's pretty extensive. There's definitely a lot of stuff in here for you to learn. Moving on to the bonus chapters, there's two of them. The first one covers odd time signatures like 6/8 time, or what else we got, 5/4 time, and the last one 7/4 time. So even if you don't write your music in standard 4/4 time, this will have you covered. And last but not least, here's a chapter about mixing. So if you don't like the sounds that come with your drum software, I'll show you how to get them closer to what you want them to sound. Again, I've split this up into different sections here. The first one covers cymbals, because cymbals are very hard to get right, and most of the time they give away if a drum track is programmed or not the first. So yeah, that's why I started with the cymbals here. Moving on to the bass drum, snare drum, the toms, room sound and reverb. I also talk about parallel compression. This is very important for the metal guys out there. And also sample replacement can be used in all genres basically. And that's about it. There's some final words here. At page 154. So yeah, I hope you liked the book, and I could give you a little insight into what it's about, what you will find in there, and how it looks. And if you like it, get it on the website www.drumprogrammingguide.com. Thanks.